In the beginning, there was nothing but chaos. Out of the void emerged a place beyond comprehension, where death made its dwelling and night reigned eternal. Yet from the darkness, something new was born. Love. And with love came the first sparks of order, the first glimmers of light. From this cosmic awakening, on a small blue planet, she would one day arise. But before her story could begin, there was an age of gods and mortals. Among them stood Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. With golden hair that flowed like sunlight and armor gleaming with divine favor, she was chosen to lead. The gods themselves looked upon her, Artemis with her bow, Zeus on his throne, Poseidon with his trident, and from the heavens they bore witness to the dawn of her reign. As men across the world waged wars and succumbed to petty desires, Hippolyta carved a different path. She raised her sword to the skies and built a nation of women apart from the greed and hatred of humankind. Fierce warriors gathered to her side, shields lifted and weapons gleaming. Together they forged a sisterhood unlike any other. With her companions, Penthesilea, Antiope, Melanippe, and Glauch, Hippolyta guided her people with both the words of peace and the steel of spear and axe. They were ruthless in battle, yet never cruel in conquest, their honor unbroken and their legacy unmatched. The gods marveled at the strength of the Amazons. Zeus himself descended in radiant brilliance, granting Hippolyta the gift of immortality. Her sisters too received the blessing that they might rule in wisdom and justice for all time. Yet even in this glory, sorrow stirred within Hippolyta's heart, for immortality bore with it a heavy price. As eternal life was given, the chance for children was taken away forever. Ages passed. The Amazons flourished, but Hippolyta's longing for a child festered like an unhealed wound. When Hercules and Theseus raided their lands, temptation overcame her resolve. For a fleeting moment, she wondered, could mighty Theseus deliver her from immortality, grant her immortal life and the children she yearned for? Her weakness led to betrayal. That betrayal became the undoing of the Amazons. War crashed upon them, fierce and merciless. At the Battle of Achilles, Hippolyta's own sister Penthesilea fell, bloodied upon the earth. Grief struck Hippolyta's heart, snapping her from her futile pursuit of mortality. Still childless, still burdened, she returned to her people, prepared to lay down her life in penance. But the Amazons did not wish for her death. They desired only the return of their queen. And so, humbled and broken, Hippolyta was welcomed back. Yet even her return carried consequences. The disease of war spread beyond mortals and touched the gods themselves. Their battles raged against a titan, blows that shattered the earth, waves that swallowed the land, and fire that consumed cities. The destruction was so great that Zeus decreed a separation. The gods would retreat from the mortal world, taking their power and creations with them. Thus, they built an island, a sanctuary apart from the turmoil of men and gods. For perhaps the only way to keep the world safe was for the divine to leave it behind. Despite her failings, Zeus showed mercy. He offered Hippolyta a place upon the sacred island, Themyscira. There the Amazons would build a city of eternal peace, a sanctuary of worship for the gods. In return, the gods would grant the Amazons daughters, born every 10 years from the souls of the chosen, to strengthen their people and ensure their legacy. Watchful eyes from Olympus would guard them for all eternity. Centuries passed, and under Hippolyta's rule, the Amazons flourished. Themyscira gleamed with light and happiness, untouched by the corruption of men. Yet within Hippolyta, sorrow still lived. The world praised her as a queen blessed by the gods, but her heart remained hollow. The vast emptiness of loneliness became her truest fear. In desperation, Hippolyta fled. She wandered the island in anguish until her despair drove her to the sea. She ran beneath the moonlight, the sorrow of 1,000 years pressing upon her, until at last she collapsed upon the shore. The gods could feel her pain echo even upon Olympus, yet they turned away, bound by their laws. But something older, something forgotten, heard her cries. From the sands of Themyscira and the burning hope of Hippolyta's heart, a gift was sculpted. In her exhaustion she gasped. Before her lay a child, cradled by the tide. A mortal child. Trembling, she gathered the infant in her arms, whispering through tears, Diana, my Diana. Thus, the child of clay was born, not divine, yet blessed beyond measure. But the gods, even in their gifts, gave warnings. Zeus commanded, beware the island, for beyond its walls lurked beasts and dangers born of chaos. The land itself shifted, changing its shape so that those who strayed too far were doomed to be lost. Only the bravest were permitted to enter the depths of Themyscira, while the rest remained in the safety of the city. And so the Amazons lived under the gods' watch, each woman guided by whispers of destiny in her dreams. When the children of the Amazons came of age, they were gathered in the temples to hear their callings. Some would serve in the house of Demeter, teaching and tending to the sacred gardens. Others would study the stars for Apollo, or take up spear and shield to defend the city's walls. The young girls dreamed of their futures. Some longed to be mothers, some priestesses, others warriors. Yet among them sat Diana, who had not heard the voice of any god. Her peers whispered about her fate. Some believed she would be queen, the natural heir to Hippolyta. Others argued it was impossible, for only immortals could rule, and Diana was mortal like the rest. Their words cut deep, though some tried to hush the cruelty. Diana herself turned inward, sensing that something was wrong. She confessed to her friends, "There is something wrong with the island. It feels ill, as though it is being blackened from the inside." Her guardians dismissed the feeling as nothing more than a storm approaching, but Diana knew otherwise. As the children ran to play, inviting Diana to join, she declined. She was expected at the palace, to stand before Hippolyta. The others pitied her, wondering if she ever found time for joy. And so, while the laughter of her peers echoed behind her, Diana walked alone beneath the gates of Themyscira, the guards bowing as they greeted her. "Greetings, princess." From the warmth of the sun into the cold of the palace she went, where her mother, Hippolyta, immortal queen of the Amazons, awaited her.